Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. We're going to continue playing Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice 8 and Third Reich events. This is Gamer 1745 here. I hope you're enjoying the channel and seeing some of the new offerings we're having, and I'm going to be increasing a few other games here that won't necessarily be daily series, but they'll be ongoing games. Artillery unit training has advanced. That is a good thing, of course. So, as you can see, we've reduced, like I talked about earlier, the rate of gain. You still gain each level, but you don't get as big gains in organization and morale, but the morale is just barely a cut. Combined arms. We want to have combined arm elements for artillery support. But basically every division is going to have, every significant combat division is going to have artillery, and we want to have a big impact on the battle. Okay, we're going to reduce down diplomacy even a little bit more. We're not really using much of any at all. Okay, Lithuania got away with stealing some blueprints. What are they going to do with it? I don't know, but I wonder what it was. Carrier technology or something? Now it just popped in my head what would be sort of a cool feature would be that you could sell them. So obviously somebody like France wouldn't want to sell their technology. But some small nation like Lithuania who gets some cool technology, and if it's well enough advanced, they might sell it to some other nation. That could be an interesting game feature for Hearts of Iron 4. Okay, aircraft carrier engines have advanced. Basically, we have little knowledge. We're going to continue to research, just giving 1 point, that's all. Because when in the last game, and I know there were several suggestions, and I think you can do this in vanilla, to just simply buy a license production. I think that was pulled out in Black Ice so that you can't buy licenses from other nations for carriers. So we have to research it ourselves. So if Herman wants to get a carrier, we gotta research syntax. And I like a few carriers. So we're still at 0.72. Tank destroyer technologies have advanced. We're almost to 1937, so I'll be willing to start researching 1938 technologies. There would be a little of a penalty, but not major or overly significant. But it does encourage this also happened as well. But it does encourage spreading out of technologies. meaning the ones that are you're not concentrating by rushing ahead on just a few. This is the one that I'm going to push as soon as I get this. Push here. See how fast we can get that. That. Oh, wait a minute. We don't need to do that. Oh, okay, cool. Just noticed, because normally you need to push ahead on this to get marine activation. Since we have it, it doesn't say what you need to do to get it. But because we were able to steal this, we're ahead of the game. So we are going to be able to have, as soon as we get this, which will move into the hole here. We obviously have destroyers. We'll be able to get landing craft early. Yay. Yes. Okay, Soviet Union's canceled that trade. So is Spain. Okay, the 500 kilogram bomb. We perfected that, so we're going to move it to the 1,000. Switch over to political, take a look at the Spanish situation. What is it? Yeah, because we're going to be expanding our industry very soon here. We could use some more. Looks like they're winning pretty well. You know what I'm going to do? Okay, I'll work under the assumption that most of you don't know much about this, the Spanish Civil War. Many nations sent ships there because various nations such Britain, France, were enforcing some level of blockade against the rebels, meaning the nationalists. Also in the Deutschland. And Italy and Germany were, shall we say, escorting and helping the nationalists get supplies in their regions of control. And so there were a lot of naval forces moving around above and beyond the Republican and the nationalists' navies that were operating in the area. And I think it was the Deutschland. I think it was hit by aircraft, bombed by aircraft. Took some damage. Some German, I think like 10 or 20 German sailors were killed in it. So there's some actions, and now I don't know. I almost briefly made a mod to cover some stuff. I have some information on the Spanish Civil War. But if the Germans were actively participating in naval actions, or if they were just observing the situation. See, here we're observing the situation, so we're getting a little bit of seeing what some of the units are doing. Because we're patrolling, but we're not at war with anybody, so we're not intervening. Okay. Yeah, they said, okay, so we are two there. Okay, so that's what we did last time, short term. Well, we have long term, but I don't want to hit that line just yet. So we're going to do this economics buying, so 1% efficiency. And we're going to do national focus here. Again, because I want to build my ICs at this time, we're going to continue with Reich economics. And we have the choice for building either boost supplies, or we can gain 2 manufacturing plants in Dusseldorf, Kassel, and 2 heavy industry levels in Dusseldorf, Dresden, each there. And as you can see, Dusseldorf we have 1. Dresden is Dresden. Where's Dresden? Dresden's it. Boy, I'm blanking at the moment. I know. Yeah, it's over here, is it? Yeah. Okay. So they'll both give us 2. So it will be, instead of 25% boost, it'll be 50% boost on all those ICs there in both of those cities, which will be a very good thing. Manufacturing plans do that, and then we can choose another if we don't want to do this. But we're going to do this. So 2 heavy industries, 2 manufacturing plants. Okay. And now we're going to do the long-term investment. We will do negative 5% on ICs and plus 20% on money for this next year. Kingdoms annexed Egypt, Soviet Union, second Moscow show trial. Das Schwarzkort. This was a SS newspaper, basically, I think, focused on the SS, not that in any way, my understanding, secret, meaning other people couldn't read it, but I think it was mainly published for the reading audience of the SS. So, SS gained a few more officers. HQ for themselves. And for those shifts, we're going to shift here. I think we're doing all right here, so reduce this a few. Let's go all the way down to 60 because we're at 37,000. Boost here, so we need to really look around, see if there's any. As you can see, any of these that will get possibly additional So we're addressed in this. Just selectively we want to maximize sure. No, here is the odor. Not sure if the odor goes there or here. To get that river basin fairly well up. Places keep in the east. These try to get a few of these guys out of the way that are almost split. Okay, because we of actually two elements here, we have enough money, so at least a certain amount of metal supplies. We've been having to build back up because of various costs. Okay. Okay. So basically for we have for a giant industrial project, we've got farm mechanization, railroad tycoon, and mining are what's available to us. So that's sort of maximum 3 years of doing long-term investment, as I understand it, for Germany. Best, I guess. Okay, so mining, reduction in manpower, reduction in ICs, improved oil, energy, and metal. Well, metal right now we are sort of low because of various events have been scooping it away. But energy, we don't need it. Oil, we could use it, no doubt, but I only want to go with that one the last. National manpower, it's sort of a bad hit there. Now railroad tycoon, we're only positive things here. 2% IC efficiency increase, which I like, and supply throughput, which we'll like very much later on once we are invading the Soviet Union and other different positions. Agricultural industry, manpower. That would be a good one to get now because it's starting to build up our manpower now. Obviously, we're not worried about it here, but down the road we may worry about it. But because I'm still IC production mad, the efficiency thing is still on that. So that's the one we're going to go for first here. So we're going to go railroad tycoon. Now before we click this, because then that will pull that away, metal, we're going to be a bit tricky here. We have University, Imperial War Ministry, and we were talking a little bit, some of the contributors we're suggesting that the new Reich chancellery that we build in TRE, that Spear builds, give us the imperial seat of government as a, sort of gives, as part of building it, it activates that core. And I'd like some of your feedback if any of you feel you want to on that. And obviously that you pay for that event, and I might make it cost a little bit more to give that, because they really do up the buildings and probably staff them with a lot of people that create that imperial seat of government. And also you still have the German General Staff. Should that be giving them, starting out with the War Ministry, the Imperial War Ministry as a starting function? And then, you got Heidelberg and other major universities, and should Germany start with an Imperial University? And should feared police headquarters building be given with the SS Reich? Again, I can make the events cost more. And it comes down to, these are sort of gameplay things that we have available in the game, and the AI will be using them and all of that. How much should they remain here as go through the process and get? Obviously some, thinking you have UFA Studios, several other major studios, so that would do the movie industry one. Where do you cut off giving them for either free or, or putting them on events? But okay, so like your input, please comment on what you think. Should they just stay black ice, things like this, or should we try to incorporate them in events with a cost? I mean, they're not free, but they would be happening without going through the various stages here. I felt very comfortable in adding the 3 basic levels for the radio to Germany because of, as I talked about before, because of pre-existing things, but that still left 2 additional levels in each one of the 3 to add on to later. More entertainment shows or more news broadcasts or whatever. So you still had that. I wasn't giving anybody all the way up to level 3 on any of those, and I think it was news and entertainment or whatever were not the patriotic ones. The 2 that I gave to Britain for the BBC. Just the 2 level 1s. I didn't, again, make them up maximum, so you still have more levels to step through and still more of the game to play. So would like because you don't have that if I just give them out as part of an event. You don't have this element to go through, like major movie studios. This one is USA. So they're see, before you could, other countries couldn't. They recently did this, and obviously I could go in and change it because there was a major amount of German movie production. Just wasn't translated into English. So we have several choices. Imperial seat of government, very good. Leadership modifiers, territory pride, national unity. I really like that one. History. Imperial War Ministry, land organization, air organization, naval organization, reinforcement bonus. Leadership modifiers, advanced education investment, is that what the universities now are being called? So, foreign ministry is good too. Espionage bonus, counter-espionage, ruling party support. They're all good. See, like here, they say you can step through, so only just give them the first one. But even then, even if they sort of are given either by advance, some of them here, or they're given, at start for some of these capabilities, it still shows the difference between a nation like Yugoslavia and a nation like Germany. I don't think anybody's going to argue that the overall civil infrastructure of universities, of foreign ministries, of war ministries, of movie studio industries and all that were the same between Yugoslavia and Germany, and just simply scale, meaning bigger country, more in Germany. Now Germany was more highly developed as a nation than Yugoslavia at this time, so it still showed the great difference between, shall we say, majors. But then we couldn't easily say that some of these things existed in Russia, because they gutted their imperial war ministry at the Bolshevik revolution, so that wouldn't still be around. So they did not have, in my opinion, a major university system in Soviet Russia, at least at this time. So because I'm also somewhat right now secondarily is research fixated, so I'm going to go with Imperial University. Okay, so you fire these two events, and if you notice, instead of the generic one that to me they look American in trousers, a few of these I found good period images. You can't really see it. I think there was a few German army officers, and I think that's Heidelberg, some shot from this period of Heidelberg University with the Heidelberg University, some badge, a real sports badge from the period found. Like there's an officer's hat, I think it's SS. You can see better and crop the image down to fit there. And so by firing these two, we won't run into a deficit, because we've already got this, even though it's going to pull it away. And we've got plenty of money for both of these things. So we're not really cheating, but we're making sure we didn't have to build that up again. So you want to watch that, because so now what do we have here? Projects. This will you want to do this because this, I think, sets a timer. New projects. It sets a condition that will last for 180 days or however long, so it won't fire again real soon. Even if we just reach the next tech level in 3 days, it'll still wait for the new one. And if you delay that, it'll cause other problems, so I don't recommend doing that. So now, hopefully we'll get some events to take that down soon. So now we have Railroad Tycoon effect, our efficiency's improved. We've also obviously had a major hit to supplies. So it means we need to build that up, and we have advanced education, so we have more leadership and more research efficiency. Diagraphan Conf Troop. Basically, this is a magazine started in 1937. This is the cover of one of the issues, actual period magazine. You can see some of the stuff. Published by the German Army, dealing with the new motorization of German armed forces to saying a lot, I know, to spread the new motorized combined arms philosophy of the German Army. So it advances training just a few days here and there, but the as everybody reads it. Okay, now we are in 1937. That means we can start researching these, and kill that. Is that we just got that through that event that just pushed us over the edge. Concentrate on these 1938 texts. Do that. Some of these down at the bottom is important. Could cancel them, and may be the smart thing to do, but I'm just going to push them to the bottom. So, the national developmental texts come first. These are for the ones that are going to take a while to continue researching. More for ones that are going to show up quicker that will just cancel development. Alright. Because we've had that major hit in supplies, we're going to increase this back up a bit. Okay, recruitment of foreign units in the SS. This is happening obviously a little early in the sense of they weren't doing this at this time. They didn't do that until they started the war. But setting that up, there was an agreement after the war started and the SS started to expand to limit the amount of excuse me, Germans in the SS, because it was seen as an elite force, partially because of propaganda, partially because there were some elite units in it. So to keep a fair number of good soldiers going into the army, they limited the higher number of Germans. So this turned the SS into looking for foreigners. That's why the SS has all the various foreign units that developed. And so we're going to say yes because some of the obviously we'll get some more manpower. It hurts the ICs a little bit. I don't understand exactly what I've thought behind that. I understand the land organization, meaning quality of recruits are dropping because we're just accepting more people into it. So we're going to go for that. National recruiting policy. Again, I like the balanced approach. We're going to go with that. Okay, I think we're going to end this session here. I hope you're enjoying it. I certainly have been. Please post your comments. I would like your feedback if you feel so inclined about what via events or starting some of the major universities and other national development should we give. And if we do that here, we should probably, counterbalance it with, the equivalent of Oxford University for, that's Coventry, Oxford, in Britain, and what, I don't know, French Foreign Ministry in Paris, and, they have the École de Militaire, and now, of course, they do have various training centers here, somewhere here. Not used to the new thing. That may be already doing the École de Militaire in Paris and outside of Paris. And things like that. Okay, thanks for viewing. See you next time.